Enel's Yonko level confirmed! Enel against Kizaru would be a DBZ fight. Enel solos everyone. Enel theoretically could one-shot anyone he wants instantaneously with his 200 billion bolt blast snipe. He is God. I've always thought that Enel is on par with the Emperors. Yes, he's Yonko level. Luffy won against Enel because the plot demanded it. Oh boy, we're going over our boy God Enel. I've mentioned before that this is my least favorite character in the entire series. I think I have good reasons for that. This guy is so overrated. I've seen people say he's Yonko level. I've seen people say he's Admiral level. I've seen people say he's Commander level. This is not true by any means. In this video, I want to prove why Enel isn't even standing up to characters like Peckham's, Lucci with rubber gloves. He's not standing up to most like lower level Yonko Commander-ish level characters. He's not standing up to Oven or Daifuku, definitely, or any Tobiropo member. Enel is just not that strong. The main points I want to go over in this video are his 500 million berry bounty that Oda said he would have if he was in the Blue Sea, the majority of his overall stats, so that being his physical strength, his speed, and his durability. And then lastly, I want to talk specifically about his Devil Fruit and HAKI, because I think that is where many people are just incredibly wrong. With that, check me out. We about to get controversial here today, boys, because Enel is gonna get fucking roasted today, okay? And I will prove to you, hopefully, why this character is easily fitting for a pre-time skip villain. All right, starting with his bounty. So Oda said in an SBS, I believe, if Enel was on the Blue Seas, he would have 500 million berry bounty. Now this is really, really good. It's nowhere near the Admirals or the Yonko or most Yonko commanders, but it's really good. If we think about it, Luffy didn't even get that high till after Dressrosa. One of the comparisons I see people make is that it's similar to Ace's bounty. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean they're the same strength. I would also argue that Ace's bounty is way too low. I feel like it's unfair to compare the two just because they have similar bounties. We know for a fact bounties don't equal strength. There are countless examples of this. Zoro had a lower bounty than Cavendish. Obviously, Luffy, Law, and Kid all having the same level bounties of 3 billion. Sabo's ridiculously low bounty is, that is one of my fucking triggers. There are a lot of arguments to be had that it's not really fair to talk about Enel's bounty as if it's like a basic or anything. What I will say about his bounty, Enel is a maniacal man. He has a god complex. He's trying to rule over everyone, and theoretically, we don't know for sure if he could destroy actual islands, but he can do really big damage to villages. Even if he can't beat like some of the stronger characters, of course he would have a high bounty. Next up, let's talk about his stats. Okay, Enel is fucking weak. I'm gonna say it right now. This is unrelated to his Devil Fruit. There's really nothing special to be said here. He's most certainly weaker than characters like Lucci, who are overpowered by a pre-time skip Luffy. There's not really much to say as he more than likely relies on his Devil Fruit. I guess he puts his foot down on Zoro, which is okay. It's nowhere near any Yonko, any Admiral, any Commander, and it's nowhere near any Vice Admiral, for sure. No one relies on their Devil Fruit as much as Enel. Next, let's talk about what triggers the fuck out of me, and that is Enel's speed. People seem to think that besides Kizaru, Enel is the fastest character in the series. This is laughably false. It generally feels like people just see that he's the speed of lightning and it automatically makes him the second fastest in the verse. This is incredibly strange, because what made you think One Piece characters can't mess with lightning speed? It's not like this is real life, it's an anime, right? Looking at his speed feats, they're relatively awful. On multiple occasions, he was being blitzed by a pre-gear Luffy. And while he did dodge Luffy's attacks sometimes, this isn't very impressive. Even characters like Zoro and Viper could keep up with him at points. Viper hit him, I'm pretty sure, at some points. This is especially bad as you think with Goro speed, plus even baseline observation HAKI, these pre-Enies lobby characters would hardly be able to touch Enel, but it just isn't the case. Even characters like Blueno have better speed feats than Enel. For some reason, Luffy didn't feel the need to learn Gear 2nd against Enel, so that really says a lot. Next up, let's talk about durability. It's not even relatively awful, it's just awful, and I don't think this is a controversial take. Even most Enel diehards admit his durability is probably his weakest trait. Worse than characters like Crocodile, worse than characters like Mr. One, easily worse than any of the CP9 members. This makes sense though, as the guy has never had the chance to be hit since getting his Devil Fruit. There's just not much to be said, it's just trash. And for our final point, we want to talk about the Devil Fruit and his HAKI or mantra. Okay, this is definitely the big dog. So first we'll talk about the Devil Fruit. It's incredibly impressive for a character at that time in the series. Enel's Devil Fruit, in my opinion, it's the most powerful Logia Devil Fruit we've ever seen. I even said said that in my Logia Devil Fruit video. It's strong, don't get me wrong. However, there are a decent amount of cons when talking about the Goro no Mi in relation to Enel. So first, I want to talk about Peckham's famous quote talking about Logia users. That is, Logia Devil Fruit eaters who think they're invincible often die young. I think this describes Enel better than any character in the entire series. If you disagree with me, I think you're just wrong. If you think it describes Caribou better, maybe, but Enel literally got a god complex and considered himself practically invincible once he received his Devil Fruit. Another fact is that Enel hit multiple characters directly with his vaults and killed none of them. This is just awful. So some of the characters that ended up surviving direct hits from Enel, which is pre-Arc Maxim, were Zoro, Sanji, Gonfall, Robin, Usopp, and Wiper. It's not a good look when these guys take direct hits from this supposed Admiral level character and they don't die, they just get knocked out. Now you might want to compare this to how Aokiji didn't kill any of them when he fought the Straw Hats. Now you might have forgotten though that Aokiji didn't kill them as payment for stopping Crocodile.
Hey, Alan from the future here. So you might be wondering why I didn't talk about a character like Kizaru, who ended up fighting a bunch of supernovas and never killed any of them. This is probably a decent argument for Enel's case. I would also like to argue though that Kizaru is nothing like characters like Enel or Akainu for that matter, where they'll just murder anyone in absolute justice for Akainu's sake or just because they're a god for Enel's sake. While Kizaru definitely could have killed them, he even got incredibly close to killing Hawkins. His goal there wasn't to kill the supernovas, it was to kill Luffy for hitting the World Noble. So the fact that he didn't end up killing them, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. If I was him, I'd probably rather imprison them than kill them. We don't really know his morality. There's a lot of questions to be had there for why he didn't end up killing the supernovas. I don't think it ruins the point that Enel should have been able to kill any of the characters in Skypiea. And the supernovas are even stronger than the Skypiean characters at that time. So I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. Hate me for that if you want, but that's my take on this.
There is an argument to be had that Enel has some of the highest destructive capabilities in the entire series, as he did destroy an entire Sky Island. Yes, this is impressive. He destroyed Angel Island, and it was a huge display of destructive power. I will say it's an Sky Island, which is made of dense clouds, which it's still impressive. I will still give him credit though. It's an impressive feat. But to be fair, I find it interesting that literally every single one of Enel's feats that make him Admiral or Yonko level tend to be from attacks directed towards structures and islands. I will also say Enel's most powerful attacks to destroy Sky Islands are from his Arc Maxim, the Raigo and the Manga? Oh god, let me find the name of it. Mamaragon. You can call plot armor all you want, it's still a part of the plot. A character unable to kill this weak ass version of Sanji with a direct hit from one of his most powerful non-maximum moves is gonna hardly touch the hockey clad fighters in the new world. Characters like Pika, Peckham, characters like Virgo and Pedro are absolutely destroying Enel. It seems to me that in One Piece, being able to destroy things from a wide range like Enel's Raigo just does not seem to be as important as the condensed small scale strikes from characters like Shanks, Akainu, some of Whitebeard's attacks, Mihawk, Zoro, Rayleigh, Odin, the list goes on. I just think those are far more impressive and seem to be much more higher damage than the likes of Enel's Raigo, which, I mean, Luffy destroyed Enel's Raigo with his own fist. His HAKI, incredibly overrated. People unironically argue that he has the best HAKI in the entire series. Due to combining his HAKI with his Devil Fruit, Enel most likely has the best HAKI range in the series and possibly perception in the series. However, for what truly counts in a 1v1 scenario, one's precognition. Enel's is so mediocre and so middle of the road, as like I said prior, we see characters like Luffy, Zoro, and Wiper all being able to somewhat match his speed. If you genuinely believe characters like Katakuri, Kizaru, Marco, Rayleigh, Shanks, Mihawk, or pretty much any other commander level plus character is taking as many hits as Enel did during Skypiea, you're absolutely delusional. I'm sorry to say it. And with that, you can love Enel. He's an awesome character. He has a great design, great abilities, he was super cool in Skypiea, and he is so unique in the series. Great cover story as well. You can like Enel, that is fine. But I will end this message with this. Do not pretend that he is Yonko level, Admiral level, Commander level, or even below Commander level, like characters like Daifuku and the Tobiropo. It just doesn't seem to be the case. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button, and if you really like me, subscribe as well. And if you want to see more videos, click over here. I will see you later.